Hey everyone, as some of you may already be aware, Charlie Head is circumnavigating Scotland on a stand-up paddleboard. Now, I managed to have a quick call with him last week just to see what he's been up to. He's doing this paddle all in aid of mental health and a charity called Dare to Express. So in our chat, we dive into what he's exploring in the mental health side and where he's been going, what he's up to, where he currently is now, and of course we dive into his 100-kilometer crossing on a SUP, which took him just under 24 hours. So really interesting stuff that Charlie's been through and that he's connecting with different communities along the way. So get ready to be inspired. I really was inspired by this talk with Charlie. So I hope you enjoy it. Here it is.
Thanks so much for taking the time out to have a chat and just to kind of get an idea of where you're at the moment with the whole adventure and whole exploring, Scotland. But we'll get into that. But I mean, last time we spoke, we were in a lockdown as well. The first lockdown, we're both at home, and you were planning your next SUP adventure. But then, next time I saw you, you were on a child's bike crossing the border into Scotland with all of your SUP gear, and then now another lockdown. But can you just tell us where you are right now?
Okay, where am I? I'm at Thurso, so I'm at the very top, sort of halfway along, not quite, a third of the way along, 1/3 of the way along the very north coast of Scotland.
The whole idea of this trip is you're circumnavigating Scotland, and you are raising awareness and funds for a mental health charity called Dare to Express. Do you want to elaborate a little bit about why you are doing the journey and why that charity is so important to you?
It's about community and the power of that, and that's the support that people need to be amongst. And I'm seeing communities, but I'm seeing a lot of fractured people in fractured communities where the support is still wafer thin for what people really need to express themselves and to connect with other people, to talk about their issues in many forms. And there's so many different ways that that you can deal with it, and everybody has a different signature. Everyone has a different way of being reached, and so I wanted this to be a way I connect with different characters, professional or not, that deal with their mental health in their way, whether it's physical activity, using sport, or whether it's what experiences people are having professionally that are provided for the government, what communities are offering to each other to support each other, and there's a lot of professionals that are going to be doing more live chats with, that are addressing intimacies, getting into the science of it, the psychology of it, and kind of using myself as that the catalyst, as a platform for people to express themselves, and for me to get this wonderful overview data of how the country's behaving.
Definitely. And then how are you dealing personally with the implications of lockdown, but also paddling during COVID and the whole UK lockdown at the moment?
Yeah, well, luckily I'm in sort of tier 1 most of the time. So, and the folks up here aren't so touchy-feely. And there's very dispersed humans, so there's not so much of an issue. And I'm fully independent.
For our mental health, how important is it for you and others to be able to get outside, experience the world, to get out in nature, to release some of our stresses that we all might be feeling?
More so than ever is giving your time to yourself before you, and then you're more capable of giving it to other people. So the morning is a special thing for me, and can be where you rising with the sun, and you go through this lovely sort of slow process where you just breathe heavily. I think I'm killing it. I'm breathing probably too much, but and then if you can, put your yoga in, and just dedicate that hour, and then just be so present and do that, and then you just cope with so much more. But it's really difficult to do that, because it's like communicating, like in the mental health side of things, it's difficult just to put one foot in front of the other. Suddenly everything's difficult, and it's hard, and everybody from the outside says all you have to do is do exercise, all you have to do is just do that. But when you're in that place, it's just that is difficult. Kind of trapped in your mind. So breathing is almost the ultimate thing that you can just do right now. You don't have to sweat it out. You can just smash that out, and then make the next step. And I just recommend that so much. It doesn't matter whether you're in a good place or a bad place, to make that happen.
So one of the biggest challenges for you so far on your paddle was crossing the Moray Firth. It's a more than 100-kilometer stretch of water, and you did it in just under 24 hours. Can you just tell us about that experience?
Oh God, that was it was quite emotional. That, yeah, in a few ways, it was. Yeah, as soon as I got there, I had some lovely people from the community there who were saying goodbye to me, and that kind of took up my energy. So I paddled out sort of 10-15K until I couldn't see the land, really, and then I just sat there and watched the sun go down, and then just did some big breaths, and just to sort of be present, and then embrace the darkness, because I knew I had like 15 hours of darkness to go through.
Wow.
I had variable winds coming from the east, from the south, a little bit from the north, and switching around. It wasn't very strong winds, but it was switching around, so it made the sea state a bit disorganized. I had the GPS, my compass already. I was lit up when I needed to be, and then set out. And then I got into the middle of the night, and started to get halfway across. The clouds cleared, which was just amazing, because it meant it gave me the plough, and it gave me the North Star. And I was going on a 340, 350 degrees, so I could go off the stars and know my course. And then the southeasterlies came in, and that kept building and building and building, and then made the water state a lot bigger and more frantic, which was harder for me to be stable. But then finally the light came up, and then I had the last 30 miles, hit the wind farm, and I was trying to go around the wind farm, but the wind came in too early, and so I had to cut through it and sneak through it. But it was so big, so many, so massive. You can't really see the wind farm from land. So, but out there, geez. And then the wind just cranked in, and then that was it, my final push. And then when I got in, there was so many people there beeping their horns and saying well done. And then I got to the jetty. I nearly fell in as soon as I stepped onto land. My legs nearly gave way, and I was just wobbling, and I was wobbling for like 24 hours because I've been moving with the ocean so much and going so much. I had such dodgy sea legs.
What an adventure! What a cool crossing! Sounds amazing. So you've said you can paddle to Mars, no problem. Before, I know you've said that. What do you think was the biggest challenge? Was it mental or physical doing that crossing?
No, it's all mental. Your body just matches it. It's like it's like your body, your mind. It tells your body what's going on, and it goes. You don't need to use this. You don't need to do that. You need to retain water there. You don't need the loo. You're prioritizing what needs to work, and where all the blood goes to, and where all the focus is. And I mean, much like dealing with mental health, you draw in problems, you draw in anxiety, and all these things that that upset you, and hazards. But then you've got to make a decision what's prioritizing, what's useful and what's not, and then be very present again.
It's such a different ball game paddling in winter and summer. And I know you love cold water. I know you really enjoy paddling that. But how different is it, and how do you keep dry and not cold?
I'm forced to Wim Hof every morning with my wetsuit. I overheat, and I like the cold and that dynamic, but also I just love that. I don't want to sound like I'm a masochist, but I love that kind of challenge. I love that kind of fight. The cold is it is hard, especially when you're out there and you wouldn't last very long if this happened, that happened. But I don't know. There's something fresh and stimulating about the cold.
What are you most looking forward to for the rest of the journey?
I'm looking forward to it's the people. It's the people and the stories, and how I can bring their stories to other people to learn about us and about how we feel about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't keep up, really. I find it almost frustrating because I can't really honor the places I'm seeing and the people I'm meeting as much as I can deliver, say, on social. And I go past it. So, like I said, so much history, so many incredible communities doing so many cool things, and I just can't record and document all of it, And I'll be out here for months and months and months if I could.
Well, we're definitely cheering you on and supporting you from afar. You've got your own range of clothing and accessories as well that people can go and purchase, all to support all profits
Yeah,
Dare to Express. And
goes there. Yeah, absolutely. Let's fill his purse up, man, because they got even less funding to support people, and there's not many people can do much about it. So, and it's just to encourage other people to do micro adventures and do little things that might make them go out of their comfort zone a little bit. Could be tiny things, and do a little micro fundraisers to help put some money in the pot there.
yeah, amazing. No, well, thanks so much, Charlie, for taking some time out of your day and sharing your adventure so far. And we look forward to seeing what comes from the next part of Scotland.
Yeah, nice one. Watch this go, man. My moustache is curling into my mouth. I'm having to comb it with my toothbrush, as always, with a little bit of Colgate, and then just get it out to the side. It's getting a bit awkward.
Thanks again, Charlie, for sharing your time with us. We really hope this quick update gave you a lot of insight into Charlie's circumnavigation of Scotland and the great work that he's doing to really raise awareness and funds for mental health and the charity Dare to Express. There's still loads more work to be done in that realm, and Charlie's going to all great lengths to make sure that he can actually try and get to the bottom of what it is and how people can be supported in those communities. Remember, Charlie has his merchandise up online. You can go and buy that, support him, support Dare to Express, and really just make sure that we can really raise awareness for mental health, and especially during this time, we always need to make sure that communities are being supported and those around us are supported as well. So remember, there is the extended version as well. We had a pretty long chat, Charlie and I. We dove right into stuff about mental health and also about the whole adventure he's on right now. We got into questions about how does he keep dry, how does he keep warm, and a whole load of things like that. So make sure you do check that out if you have time. It's just below this video. There's a link to it as well. And we'll make sure we're going to link to Dare to Express so you can check out all the fantastic things that they're doing in the mental health realm. So thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll get an update from Charlie as he comes into the finish.